Hi, I'm Marilyn, and I want to welcome you today to Exposing Grief. When we expose anything, it becomes less threatening. To expose loss and grief will provide us with some emotional control. In 2020, we laid the foundation for these conversations. Over 12 episodes, we explained how loss and grief can and does occur at any age or any stage in life. You can go back and listen to those foundational podcast episodes, or you can begin listening today as part of your personal journey to become more emotionally and mentally healthy. I'm not certain how we arrived at May 2021, but we are here. It feels like spring. Summer is right around the corner. More people are out and about with fewer face masks. Even though this is a good sign, we must be on guard against the fatigue of the pandemic, which can cause us to become careless. Fatigue not only causes carelessness, but it can be associated with forgetfulness and even depression. Being someone who has struggled with depression, I have to admit that fatigue can be one of my triggers. I am constantly on guard to keep myself from getting overly tired physically or even emotionally. Emotional fatigue is real. One of the reasons I practice self-evaluations is so that I remain aware of my emotional well-being most of the time. When I'm in a good place mentally and physically, I can weather most of the emotional situations that come my way. But if I allow myself to keep late nights for days on end, then I can get myself into trouble in a very short time. My focus is not on fatigue today, however, but on mental health days and why everyone should find a way to incorporate these days into their lives. When I first started taking mental health days, I thought I was being selfish and self-centered. In some ways, that is true, but I have become aware that if I am better emotionally and physically, then my entire world is better. Mental health days help me to reflect on what is truly important in my life. Is the job you have worth the stress and the extra work? Are you being the best parent you can be, or the best partner you can be? When we relax and refocus, we sort out our values, and knowing our values helps us to make better everyday decisions for ourselves and for our families. Knowing our values gives us confidence in our decision making. Otherwise, life just seems to run over us. Taking a mental health day helps to get us focused or refocused. I'm not saying to completely vegetate and do nothing, even though that can sometimes be good. What I am saying is to focus on what brings you fulfillment and determine if stress is causing you to lose sight of what matters most to you. Too much stress is not a friend, but some stress can be motivational. Mental health days are meant to help you work through what stress you are experiencing and to find solutions for managing your stress. Mental health days bring a sigh of relief as you block out time to focus entirely on yourself, and it's not your birthday. A better you means better relationships. You're worth it. If necessary, take a piece of paper and write down the pros and cons of taking such a day. Normally, there would be more pros than cons. You are not being self-centered. You are not wasting time. You are not being unproductive. When you take care of yourself, you are better able to take care of others. What does a mental health day look like, you might ask? Sometimes it's as simple as a drive to a beautiful and quiet location to release tension and seek solutions to life's conflicts. Sometimes it is running the errand you have not had time to run. The errand has been on your to-do list for months and keeps getting pushed aside. There's a certain amount of self-satisfaction when you finally cross the item off the to-do list. Be aware that some relationships do end because of conflict. If that happens, mourn the loss of the relationship so that you can begin to move forward. Spring for me can always indicate new birth and a fresh start. I guess that's why there is spring cleaning. Don't be afraid to declutter. You can thank yourself later after you have had a couple of successful mental health days. Initially, it will not be easy because we have generally programmed ourselves to work until we are completely exhausted. Most of our programming is self-imposed. Finding balance is the key. The key is there, but sometimes we have to look very hard for it. If you are not currently taking any mental health days, I challenge you to take at least one in the next 6 months. At first, it may seem unnatural, and there may be someone in your life who will resist you taking it, but move ahead anyway. That one day may help you get back the spark that you thought you had lost. It can be true what they say, that the best things in life are free. These are my personal experiences, opinions, and observations. If you have emotional or mental concerns that you cannot work through, please do not hesitate to seek professional assistance. These conversations about loss, grief, and emotional well-being are necessary and perhaps well overdue. Be a part of these important conversations. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to visit with you next time on Exposing Grief.